Hello and welcome. You are watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Deepika Lingdor, bringing to you the Salesian news across the globe. Don Bosco Shrine, Lingarajapuram, in association with Lions Club Bangalore Pyramid, distributed 15 auto partitions to help the drivers protect themselves and their customers from spreading COVID infections, while they continue with their everyday business during these difficult times to support their families. Father Aloysius Santiago, parish priest Don Bosco Church, initiated the drive to support and care for the below poverty line drivers at a brief function in front of the church on December 5th. The pastor of the DB Shrine found most of the auto drivers seldom practiced the government order to separate the passengers from the drivers. He met a few auto drivers who confided to him that they struggled to make both ends meet. He looked around for support, and LCB was quick to accept his proposal for the partitions for the poor auto drivers. A number of people of the locality also extended their moral support by being present during the distribution. Tears of joy rolled down the eyes of Mother Vijaya and Father Thangaraja, 48, as they took back their son Meghnathan, 22, whom they left with a locally powerful debtor along with his younger brother when they were barely 10 and 9 years of age. The emotional reunion took place in Don Bosco Anbu Ilam DBAI Salem on Wednesday. Formally in the presence of Ms. Uma Maheshwari, District Child Protection Officer, Mr. Das, Chairperson, Child Welfare Committee, and Father Dr. Kasimir Raj, Director, DBAI Salem. Abandoned child labourers returned to family. 18 years ago, they were cruelly abandoned when they were barely 3 and 4 years old. But the grueling twists and turns of their lives in the last 15 years have been finally taken back to their family. Don Bosco Anbu Ilam DBAI Salem, where the boys were brought up, facilitated the reunion on October 29th. The relation between Kumar brothers and DBAI Salem starts from the year 2006, when during a raid, staff from Childline officers from the Anti-Child Labour Department and other social workers found that there were more than 30 children working as child labourers in the Silver Anklet cottage units in Andipati, Panangadu area. Mrs. Suguna, a Childline staff, rescued Kumar and Rajkumar. They were produced before CWC and were admitted in the DBAI Salem as the first step of rehabilitation. Mrs. Krishna Kumari, who was the one who gathered all the information about these two little brothers. According to the FIR by the police, Kumar and Rajkumar were working as child labourers in Andipati, Panangadu, and they could not recollect their parents or their whereabouts. Kumar and Rajkumar had stated that the owner of the Silver Anklet unit, Mr. Selvam and Lakshmi, his wife, were their step-parents. Now, after 18 years, Kumar Rajkumar expressed willingness to reunite with their kin, following which DBAI Salem arranged the reintegration process officially through the District Child Welfare Committee. On October 29th, the family and relatives of the two boys, including Selvi, the elder sister, uncle, Sinu and his wife Sambu, were invited to DBAI Salem. In the presence of District Child Protection Officer Mrs. Uma Maheshwari, District Child Welfare Committee Chairman Mr. Das, District Child Welfare Committee Member, Mrs. Thamarai, Child Protection Officer, Mr. Prabhu, Director DBAI Salem, Father Kasimir Raj, Assistant Director, Reverend Selva Kumar. Few days back, we presented to you about the renovated chapel at Testaccio, Rome. Here are some details of the renovated Salesian chapel in the Testaccio district of Rome, inaugurated on 8th December by the Rector Major, Father Angel Fernandez Arteme. The chapel houses the new mosaics of the famous Slovenian Jesuits artist Marko Ivan Rupnik. On Monday, 7th December, at Cerignola in the province of Foggia, Father Vito Orlando SDB, aged 76, passed away. He was a priest for 47 years and 59 years as a Salesian of Don Bosco. In his long Salesian journey, he is known for his work and temperance of research and cultural production, of simplicity and depth of religious and community life. He is remembered in particular as an esteemed teacher at the Salesian Pontifical University in Rome and for his roles covered at the Salesian headquarters in the field of social communication, particularly as that of Director of the Salesian Info Agency. Sierra Leone is one of the poorest countries on earth. More than 60% of the population live less than €1.6 per day. 13 years of war and Ebola epidemic wreaked havoc on the country. More than 5 lakh people were displaced and more than 60,000 children orphaned and left homeless. The Salesians arrived in Freetown in 1994 and had set themselves to witness God's love for the country's young people by developing the various works typical of Don Bosco's spirits: shelters for street children, schools, youth centers and parishes. The group known as Diego's Boys celebrated their 26th annual memorial mass for Father Diego Borgatello, who died on April 23, 1994. Renowned as the editor of the English version of the biographical memoirs of St. John Bosco, Father Diego was also a zealous mentor of the young in the New Rochelle, and those youngsters, now fathers and grandfathers, continue to remember the Salesian formation that he gave them. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, this year only 10 were able to take part at the Mass on the evening of December 4th in the chapel of Salesian High School, celebrated by Father John Cero. The statue of Mary Help of Christians, located in the garden fronting Don Bosco Formation Center Lawan, has seen the comes and goings throughout the decade of the Salesian house, where vocation is planted, nurtured and harvested. Throughout the years of its existence, it has grown in the hearts of those who has passed by under its gaze and has become a nostalgic sight to many who has called this place home. Yet, time has also manifested its influence on this once glorious site, as can be perceived through the cracks and dents of its pristine condition as remembered in the bygone days. What started out as a simple sigh of longing by the rector of DBFC, Father Andy Mendoza SDB, catapulted a historic project that unveiled the undiscovered talents of those who responded to the challenge of the laborious restoration of this image. 4 aspirants, Giulietto Cosep, Rain Lagria, Jules Begay, and Mario Bettinol, accepted the daunting task that proved to bring the best in them and earn them a place in the annals of this historic institution. Amidst the constraints of the pandemic, the 4 artists began their work with improvised materials and limited tools. What they lack in resources, they make up with unwavering will and undying love for Mary. Each drop of sweat and each breath of exhaustion represented their heart's desire to be of service to this Heavenly Mother. It was indeed a labor of love. Slowly but consistently, the statue has regained its former grandeur with every stroke of the hand and every application of restoring elements. And after 4 months of hard work and total dedication of time and effort, it once again stood tall and proud as it gazes forward in a welcoming stance to whoever enters the hall of this house of formation. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.